Good morning and welcome to day 9 of exploring the Badlands. Day 9, guys, that's crazy. We only have one more day left. But anyways, we are here in Prairie, Saskatchewan, where yesterday we tried to go fishing, kind of failed. And the other day we went and we rode the boat, which was really cool to go down to the river, see the landscapes, and how it was different than the Badlands back in Drumheller Dinosaur Provincial Park. Yesterday I also got to ride in a combine, which was really cool. Shout out Gene, super nice guy. Thank you for taking me out. But yeah, that was a very interesting day yesterday. But today we have a ton planned. We don't have any kind of set activity. We're kind of doing a general exploration of the region. There's some weird little anomalies here and there. We're gonna go check them all out. We're gonna go to the Prairie Museum over in town, and we're gonna go up to a town probably a half hour away. There's sand hills there apparently. I don't know if that's like sand dunes or if it's just like kind of like Badlands where it's kind of sandy and dry. I don't know. So we're gonna go check that out. There's a museum there. I've been told it's a very good museum, so hopefully it is. Hopefully it's all open. As if it's not, then oh well, but yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be heading out to go to the museum and the sandhills now, so I'll see you guys at the museum. Alright, so we made it to Sceptre, where we are now at the Great Sandhills Museum and Interpretive Center. We're going to go inside, figure out what these sandhills are, and then we're going to go see them. So, we're not going to the Cable Museum right now. I think I said that we were, but I don't know, it might be closed, so we might check it out later or tomorrow. But for now, we're going to be checking out the Sandhills Museum. So, let's go inside. Alright, so we're in the museum now. This first room here is like a setup of like an early saloon and that, with the tables and that, which is really nice. Got the drinks and that back there. Look at this really old coffee machine. That's kind of cool. The next is what I'm going to talk about in this room. I'm not going to go over everything because a lot of it is similar to things we talked about before. There's First Nation stuff over there, which is really cool. But something we haven't seen in any of the other museums is sports history, which, shout out to my brother, Watermelon Hockey 72. I got it right this time. He makes hockey videos and that, so there's some baseball stuff here. I know absolutely nothing about baseball, so I think Americans like baseball, so if you know baseball stuff, maybe you know some stuff about these people. But next there's some hockey stuff here, so I don't know if you want to talk at all about this guy. Here, talk about him. You don't need to be on camera.
Yeah. This is Bert Olmsted. He was born here and
Sceptre.
yeah, went on to become one of the greatest NHL players of his time.
What team do you play for?
If you look at the pucks here, down here you got 3 teams: Montreal Canadiens, Chicago Blackhawks, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh,
yeah, those are game-used pucks, and those are also skates that he's used in an NHL game.
well, that's cool, actually.
And if you look at some of the sticks here, yeah, like I said, he's one of the greatest of his time. So
When did he play?
Yeah. So
actually, another fun fact about the baseball stuff. Apparently, Sceptre was known as a baseball town in the 1940s and 50s. And during the 1950s, the team won 2 nationals. That's pretty cool. About Bert Olmsted over there, he won 5 Stanley Cups. That's pretty cool. Alright guys, I'm really excited about this next room. Because look at this. There is just animals everywhere. This is like my dream room right here. So, first off, owl! I love owls. Great horned owl. That's actually the provincial bird of Alberta. Fun fact. I think this is a short-eared owl. Does it say that? Yep. Oh. So yeah, some really cool prairie owls. Bohemian waxwing. I'm pretty sure we saw one of these at Riding on Stone in the Tree. That was really cool. And there's a lake sturgeon. I think that might have been the one that we saw jump out of the water yesterday. Well, not that exact one, but next we got so many more birds of prey. There's a golden eagle, which I think we saw a couple of these at Riding on Stone. which was really cool. More little birds down there, different types of grouse, sandhill crane, very endangered migratory birds, blue heron. See a couple of those while we were driving that too, to getting on film. Canada geese, they're everywhere. We got more pheasants over here. This is the male, those are the females. Male birds are usually more brightly colored to attract the females, and the females have to be more dull in color because they're going to be sitting on a nest. They don't want to be bright and be like, oh, here's our nest, come eat my eggs, right? Oh, what the heck? Get this. The sign for this hawk says hawk with a question mark. But this is Merlin. I think that's a Merlin. I don't know why it's a question, but on this side though, we've got more birds. American goldfinch, we saw that yesterday at the river. That was really cool. Another bluebird. Some just different birds like that, or robins. Got those everywhere. Some meadowlarks. I've never seen those before. Those are really beautiful birds. There are tons of other little birds, orioles. Those are really cool birds. I've never seen those before. Maybe I have. Common nighthawk. Those are what we were seeing in Badlands Provincial Park. And I think I saw some yesterday too at the river. Mule deer buck and a white-tailed deer buck. So you kind of see the difference. Kind of darker fur, lighter fur, but very similar. I've actually like seen these side by side. That's really cool. All right, guys. Next is a pronghorn, which we saw some in the other room. This is the full body. These things are actually like smaller but larger at the same time than I expected. Why does it got like a weird nose like that? All right, guys. Time for school. A little school on the prairies. Also, look how much more we have to explore. That's actually kind of crazy. So obviously we're not looking at the whole thing today. There is just too much to see here. This is crazy. But let's take a look. So here we have the schoolroom. We got the books. Actually, there's an atlas on the desk. It says do not touch the artifacts, but oh well, look at that, so bad. But can't touch the artifacts. But this is really cool. You got the little library here. All the desks. There's some different desks here, so they're all donated by different people. But different stamp machines here and that. That's really cool. Also, this map. How old is this? It doesn't have a year on it, but before 1999, none of it's anything there. Oh, know that. Old schoolroom. Got the teacher's desk, protractors, and that. I think that's the stick that they would hit kids with. They're like mad. So is this the teacher? I don't know. This blouse is 100 years old. Dang. That's pretty good condition for 100 years old. This is an old globe. I mean, you got French Indochina, like Korea is like kind of not split, but kind of split. Most of Africa is still colonized, it looks like. Obviously, I can't touch it because there's signs everywhere saying don't touch the artifacts, so I'm not going to. Alright, guys, so there's also a church in this room, which got stained glass like windows and well, actually stained glass windows there. That's really pretty. And then you go in. Got a piano. Do not touch. I can play some stuff, but obviously not touch. So this is really nice in here. You got the benches with books and that. You got the podium here. You got Jesus and the art and that up there. I'm not religious at all, but nice room. I'll read you the little thing they have here on this church. So this is St. Chad's Anglican Church. It was moved to Sceptre by Bill Nobbs and his ranch hands from north of Moose Jaw in 1967. This little church was 40 years old when they moved it there, and once it moved to Sceptre, services were held in this church for 20 years, and then it came to the museum for preservation. That's actually a really cool fact. This next room is actually the dentist. This is creepy, but this is, if I didn't have that much leg room in the dentist, would be nice. Yikes. No wonder people are scared of the dentist. I wouldn't want to sit in this. Yikes. Some kids' toys down here. There's a nice fluffy little sheep over there. There are lots of cool stuff in this room. What are those? Who's actually playing with these? Like, who is actually playing with these toys? Okay, I'm done in this room now. Actually, no, I'm not. Look at these old hats and that. You know, old gloves down there, like fur trading gloves and that. That's really cool. Really, who's playing with those? I shot an old map. This is World War II, if I could guess. Germany's already like going into Poland. Soviet Union's already got the Baltic states. Germany's got Austria, Sudetenland. So, really cool to see some like maps from that time, right? Guys, this next room is like a stable. Yeah, the chicken's back there. I'm not gonna go back there. I don't know if you can. Oh, it's got eggs down there. You can see that on camera. Okay, that's a huge hat there. Whoa! Almost hit my head on that light. I mean, I'm 6'5", so yeah, like I think that's a cow pelt. This is called the Little Red Barn. This is from 11 miles north of town on the South Saskatchewan River Hills. It was never used as a barn, but as a workshop. So it's actually a blacksmith shop, and you can see all the different tools they use here. I don't really know much about blacksmithing, but I mean, I know what a wrench is. Like the clamps and that. Or is that a wrench too? Oh, it says monkey wrench. I don't know wrenches then. But yeah, so more tools over here. Straw cutter. I wonder if this is anything like the combine we saw yesterday, how that was working, cutting straw. The wheat and that, I don't know. Horse clipper. What are they clipping on a horse? Probably just like the hooves or something, right? So guys, this next room is actually the Leader Union Hospital, I think it says. First local hospital located in Prussia. Not that Prussia, but now known as Leader. So Leader's a town just north of here. And apparently, the first immigrants to this region, or to Leader specifically, were from the country of Prussia over in Europe. And that's really interesting. So they came over here, and they named their town Prussia. It's now called Leader. But that's an interesting little fact there. Anyways, let's go in the hospital now. So you go in, medicine and the doctor's clothes and that. Kind of cool, you got the charts and stuff on the wall, the nurse and the doctors and that. And I don't know what happened to this guy, but yeah, you can see I have like their station over there. Oh, yeah, incubator there for the babies. Oh yeah, they probably just gave birth then. Well, these are their doctor tools. If there's any doctors in the comments, let me know if this is what you still use today, or how much different this is. But yeah, congrats on the babies. Let's go to the next room. Guys, this next room is the war history room. So if you're sensitive to any like stuff about wars, so I'll just give that warning now. You can skip the next couple minutes, but there's nothing like graphic or anything. Just like if you're sensitive to anything, it's always good to give a warning like that. Next, we actually have some uniforms. I don't know if these were worn in the war. This is the uniform of Lieutenant Norman Alfred Gropp, Black Watch Royal Highland Regiment. So that's really cool. Different ranks in there, the pins and that. That's really cool. I'm not really sure how the different uniforms work in the military. I noticed you got the monarchy up there. This is really cool to see. I really wish I did know more about this. This is why I come here to learn, right? I don't have a ton more time to be spending in here, so I'll make this fast. It also has history on the RCMP and the military and all that. So this is the RCMP, the Mountie, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The Mounties, typical ones that are the stereotypical Canadian police on horseback in red with the hats up there. Obviously our police aren't normally dressed like that. It's mostly just ceremonial, but really cool to see some of the stuff. Because here is something that we haven't really seen before. So if you don't really know much about Canadian history, you're probably not going to know what the Red River Rebellions are. But for my Canadians watching, you probably know what these are. But basically this is when the Métis Nation, mostly in Manitoba, the Red River settlement, they rebelled against the Canadian government because they weren't getting representation. And here we actually have a shell used in the Riel Rebellion. Louis Riel was the one who led these rebellions. I'm not sure what flag this is. I don't think I've ever seen this flag before. Like, this looks like the Winnipeg Jets logo. It's a hockey team from Winnipeg for anybody who doesn't know that. But more military uniforms. I think back there is just another British flag, kind of the English cross and the British in the corner. But this says 45th Liberation Anniversary, so liberation of the Netherlands. So it's the UK, American, Canadian, and Dutch flags up there. That's really cool to see. But down here is honestly what I find really interesting. World War II history, gas masks and that were used during the wars, World War I and World War II. Next over here is some of the German history. Remember how I said it was mostly German immigrants that came here to like leader in this region? But then after World War I, the atrocities that occurred, they actually changed their name to the name of their newspaper, I think it says. So that's leader. Down here though, I'm going to read the thing it has back there. I'm going to quote it. This World War II German Nazi swastika armband is a grim reminder of the horrific atrocities committed during the war and that tragic time in world history. It is not being displayed as a worthy recognition, but as a shocking reminder of the dreadful actions carried out by some humans towards their fellow humanity, all stemming from hatred, prejudice, and greed. We must neither deny nor forget these terrible events in our history. We all need to work towards peace. So I really like that. That's why I'm quoting here from the museum. It doesn't say who wrote that, but quoting that, that's really cool. It also has the Iron Cross, which is a German military symbol, replaced by the swastika in World War II. But that's actually really cool. Really horrible things, but I don't know. I like World War II history, so I find that really interesting. Anyways, let's go to the next room. Alright guys, just finished up there. The wind is picking up. We found two big sand hills, and I also got a pin, so I don't know if this counts as getting a pin for cabling, but hopefully it does. We're going to go find the sand hills now. Hopefully it's really cool, so let's get going.